Anybody who wants to be a success knows that if you want to be a success, you've got to author a book. Hitler knew that, He knew that if he wanted to be a real success, he'd have to publish a book. But he was an artist, He wasn't a writer, He just found it really hard work, really hard work. It was a real struggle, And he thinks to himself, shit, rejected from art school. I can't write this damn book, What am I going to do, So he goes on to Elance, goes on to Elance, and he goes, and he hires a Jesuit priest, a Father Stempel, to write the book. And you look inside the cover, there it is, a Mein Kampf, written by Father Stempel, And Mein Kampf means mind struggle, which means much the same as jihad, it means struggle, And every Aussie battler knows what struggle is, I reckon I've been on a health jihad for decades, Started in the 80s, a low salt sort of thing, and then it was just like into replacing milk with soy, and then it was like juicing great big bags of carrots and eating sprouts and whatever. I nearly died in my vegan diet, but it was a struggle. I keep searching for that perfect health solution. And, Hitler, he was a vegetarian. He was also a really creative guy, in the art school, the Academy of Vienna or whatever it was, rejected his application, So he takes his creative energy and thinks, aha, I will show these wankers. I will show them the power of my creativity, and he becomes an entrepreneur, He just writes out his master plan, He teams up with all these other would-be artists who got rejected from art school all across Germany, and there was thousands of them. And then he forms this party. It's called the Nationalist Socialist Painters Guild, the Nazi party. All these would-be artists, they got together, So Hitler gets the Jesuit priest to write his book, to give him the prestige and the recognition he needed, And this is the thing, you suppress your creativity. And it's going to morph, it's going to come out. It's going to find some outlet, Hitler knew that, if he was going to be an entrepreneur, he was going to really need to build a big business, he'd need to team up with the right people, because the thing about creatives is that they're really quick to action, Creators don't really think about the possible negative consequences, like going to war against Russia, No, creators are very much sort of like in the moment, very quick to action, and don't think about negatives. But he knew that, to be a success, that he'd really need to outsource everything but the creative process, Needed to build a network. So he goes down to the Middle East and he meets with President X, President X, he conspires with President X to jihad, to struggle against all those rich so-and-sos, You're the one, the rich so-and-sos, those people who have worked really hard and been very successful at making money. And he goes, yes, so we will conspire against those people and we will take their money. Anyway, and then he gets the team, gets the network together, and then he goes, well, what we're going to do is, I've got this master plan and I've got to associate massive meaning to that master plan to keep myself motivated, but also I've got to associate massive meaning so I can actually motivate all these other guys, in Germany, And he's wondering how to do it. And then one afternoon, he's at the Berlin Art Gallery, Sunday afternoon, just wandering around the Berlin Art Gallery, thinking, oh God, I wish I could paint like that. And he sees a Stanislaw, Stanislaw, it's a Polish artist, and he thinks, maybe we could invade Poland. I could steal those paintings. They would look good in my kitchen. And then he's wandering around. He comes across a Van Gogh. It's a copy of the Scream. The Scream. The one. there's this guy on the bridge, and he's going, ah, like this, and Hitler looks at that painting, and he has a moment of empathy, And he goes, that's what I feel like. That's what I feel like. And he goes to the curator, where's the original? Where's the original? The original says, hey, it's in Paris. He thinks to himself, yes, France will pay. We will invade France and we will steal all their paintings and I will bring them back and put them into my living room. And then he's still wandering through the art gallery and he comes across the painting that depicts that ergot madness, where this is in Russia, where they used to, the rye bread would get this fungus, this rust on it, would produce this LSD, and it produced so you get this rye bread ecstasy, and you get sort of like the whole village would go on an LSD trip, And I got this painting of these people just running around, just tripping out, And he looks at that, and he thinks, takes a deep breath, and thinks, perhaps we should invade Russia. But only when the time is ripe. Only when the time is ripe, And this was all because the art school rejected his application, He decides to take on the entire world and steal their art pieces rather than create his own. And he created the master plan. And anyway, so that was propaganda. The propaganda machine to indoctrinate people. What propaganda is where you hypnotize people into believing some stupid shit, And the Americans, they looked at that and they go, we could use that, but we can't call it propaganda. Let's call it marketing. So the Americans called it marketing. Now, marketing is where you gather, supposedly you're gathering information, you're gathering intelligence, and then you seductively entice and seduce people to buy some stupid shit, It's same methods and same shit, Propaganda and marketing is the same thing, And you see, it's like all advertising is actually hypnosis, What they do, you're watching an ad on TV and they show you these beautiful people, these young men, young women, they're already beautiful, good looking, dressed really well, big smiles on their faces, they're having a really good time. And we're watching that, and we go, we feel really good. Then all of a sudden they go, and they stick this image in our face of Coca-Cola, And the two get associated. And thereafter, when we're out in the street and we see a picture of Coke, we're reminded of the beautiful people, and we go, and we automatically, reach for the Coke, and that's hypnosis. That's what advertising actually is. And religion follows the same structure. It's like what they do is they build a possible negative future and a possible positive future. So they build in this concept of hell, and they build in a concept of heaven, So they start out with always start with a negative, consequences. So they show pictures of hell, and you got like a steel refinery. A steel refinery, and it's all black and sooty and dark and horrible, and no plant life at all, nothing, no birds or anything. And they got these huge cauldrons of molten iron, and they pour it so hot, And, and the dead people, when they're dead, whatever, supposedly, they're there, and the devil's minions, they're just, they say, we're going to pour this on you, and they're threatening people. And there's the devil up, the devil's CEO. The devil's CEO is up in his air-conditioned office, all glass around. He's got all the closed-circuit televisions so he can look out over hell, And he looks down and he calls out to one of his minions and he says, turn up the heat! Push that fork harder! Push the fork! Make them scream! Torture that person! That was the guy who rejected my art application. And hell, they always give it. The priests always give hell, it has to have levels, levels of hell. So top level is sort of a bit hot, just uncomfortable. humidity, 95%. And as you drop down, they turn up the heat, and I don't know, maybe it gets darker or something or other. And then hell, of course, is time that you spend in hell, right? So I know some, it might just be, a few minutes, and others hours and days, and then there's the level of eternity, a long, long time. But if you notice, in all those depictions of hell, that no one burns to charcoal. They're burning them. And the person's there at the fires of hell. But they're not actually burning. They don't burn to charcoal. I really wondered about that. I really wondered about that. And then it made me think, like those Google glasses you get, those Google 3D glasses. And this is what I think it's like, The parents take the little child, little Johnny. They take Johnny down to the Sunday school. And the priest says, "Hey, little Johnny, come here." And little Johnny goes, "Yeah." And they say, "Put these glasses on." And they put these glasses on the kid's head. And then they start showing him like a cinema of hell, like we've just been talking about, the devil's minions and the boiling, the molten iron and steel and that sort of stuff. And little Johnny's going, "Oh, this is horrible." And then the priest says, "If you're a bad boy, if you don't eat your veggies, if you don't do what your mummy and daddy say, then we're going to press this little icon there. And then you will burn in the fires of hell for eternity, if you don't do what the government tells you to do, if you don't do what the priest tells you to do, you don't do what the authorities tell you to do, then I'm going to press that little icon, I'm going to tap that icon, I'm going to double click on the icon, and you will suffer for eternity in hell." And the poor little Johnny goes, okay, I'll be good. And then they say, yes, and if you're a good little boy, if you're a good little boy, you can go to heaven. So they give the kid an option, There's a possible negative future and a possible positive future. They said, heaven. And of course with heaven, see, if you live your life in Siberia, minus 40 degrees centigrade, well, heaven is going to be a tropical island. Tropical beach, tropical sunsets, that beautiful warm water, the ocean lapping in, everything's green all year round. That's going to be heaven. But if you lived your entire life, say, like in the Middle East, in an area where there's just no trees at all, it's just rock and sand, then heaven's going to be a shopping mall in Dubai. Shopping mall in Dubai with a indoor ski slope, snow, beautiful cold snow, cool breezes, and taxis. What are this? Taxis that just take you around. They just glide you around. They take you around. So that's going to be like a heaven. And so, in a way, it's like there's a choice. There's a negative, compelling future and a positive, compelling future. There's a hell, or there's a heaven. And it's just like the choice is, it's like which one you want. You want the negative future or the positive future, And so, if you want the positive future, if you want the heaven, I've got a ticket. I got a ticket. Because you want to go to heaven, all you got to do, you see that little button down there? If you just click that like button, and if you click the subscribe button, you're going to go to heaven. You're going to have the most beautiful experience ever. So but you got to do it now. You got to do it now. You got to click the button now. You click that like button, and you click that subscribe button. You will go to heaven. You done it. Oh, good. Now I am in heaven. Thank you. Thank you so much.